Welcome to Beyond the Front Page, a show brought to you by Peoria Community College and put on Spectrum, Verizon, Fios, as well as ARMA, the Auburn Regional Media Access, which oddly enough is housed at where our guests are from, as well as Win 89.1, the college's radio station. I'm your host, Guy Cosentino. One of the mainstays of the local arts community and most likely a leader in the renaissance of downtown Auburn is the Auburn Public Theater that for nearly 2 decades has been at the center of it all downtown in Auburn. And we're delighted to have in the studio with us their artistic producing director, Angela Daddabbo, who is most likely this is her 10th time here in the studio, as well as 2 new members of their staff, one who is a graduate of our college, Teddy Brill, who graced these halls for many years as a student, and Dominic Gambaini, who is joined. Did I say it wrong again? I did. You know what? We only went through it 4 times. Gambaini, who is new to our community, but not new to the Auburn Public Theater. So welcome to you all.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming on.
So glad to be here.
I know you're filling in for some state legislators who are still trying to figure out how to put a budget together, and maybe they'll get to it. So welcome to you all. For those who may not know, what is the Auburn Public Theater?
So the Auburn Public Theater is housed in the former Grant's department store building. It's a multi-venue performing arts center that houses a roughly 200-seat main stage, a 65-seat cinema space, about a 75-seat flex space that we call Stage Right, a studio, a cafe, and we are coming to completion, it looks like, not the royal we, but we, the construction crew, are coming to completion on the lower level, 13,000 square feet. And that
Which has its own name.
The Owasco Room, Black Box Theater, Catering Kitchen, and home of ARMA at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a 501c3?
We are.
Does the 501c3 include the Café 108?
It does not. So the Café 108 is a for-profit business owned by the nonprofit.
Okay.
So.
So anybody who, keeping the 108 out of this, but if someone makes a donation to the APT, and you can go to your website,
absolutely,
that is tax deductible.
Absolutely.
To the extent of the law.
Right.
And you have a board of directors?
We do.
How large?
Fabulous board of directors. There are 16 of us. We just doubled in size. We were a small board-ish, pandemic, all that stuff, and we just added a whole host of new board members, so we're robust. It's a good time for the board.
So generally, I know we'll get into specific programming that each of you are dealing with, but overall, what type of programming do you offer, at least in the 3 main places within the theater itself?
We offer really such a wide variety. We have comedians, we have second run and some first run independent cinema, and then we have stage plays, musicals, anything that would be put on a proscenium stage, really.
So do you still do an open mic on Tuesday nights, or is that?
Not anymore.
Okay.
So we did for a little while, and we're planning on bringing it back soon. But we will have it back very soon. And
just as an overarching, I know you do particular programming, which we'll talk about, and I know you have some. You just sent out a postcard to 9,000 of your patrons, but overall, can people rent parts of the spaces, whether they want to show a movie, appropriate movie, or they want to put on a play, or if they want to just use that flex space, because there's a bar in there, there's a small stage. And frankly, that's where you started.
It is.
Where you originally had your comedians in there.
That's where it all started.
So can somebody rent those spaces individually?
Yes, they can. I'm actually the person that deals with that now. So they're all available for rent. So like the Auburn players, they'll be renting our main stage this weekend for their upcoming production of And Away We Go. But then, bridal showers, baby showers can rent the flex space. You can inquire about showing your own private movie in the cinema. So
yeah, birthdays.
Birthdays.
If you have like a 13-year-old who wants a birthday, we just had one of those recently in our Stage Right area, and they had a phenomenal time from what I hear. I wasn't there personally, but I heard.
We have a wedding party coming up.
That's right. Yep. So I got married back in August of last year, and we're having a wedding celebration, me and my wife, right in Stage Right. So.
Okay.
Yep, and we're hoping to open up our downstairs area to even larger wedding venue options.
So we'll talk about the Owasco Room, because I know that's Red Sea money and that's a lot of other different pieces here, but let's talk about things let's take them chunk by chunk. So let's deal with the cinema, because that's one of my favorite rooms.
Thank you.
So you said 66 seats?
65.
65
And
seats.
then fixed seats, and then another row of 10 handicap accessible seating if we needed to, wheelchair or add chairs. Only a handful of times have we been at 75 seat capacity. But we've gotten close to full a handful of times as well. At the moment, we are showing a classic movie every Tuesday at 1 o'clock, free. Joanne O'Connor, also a graduate of then ACC, and she went on
And she's a member of your board.
She's a member of the board, and she does some of the most wonderful introductions you could ever imagine. And I'm suspicious. I think half of the people are coming for the movie, and the other half are coming for the introduction.
So what's showing for what
Well, this month
example?
we're back to Alfred Hitchcock. So we did
Okay.
an Alfred Hitchcock mini festival in the month of January, and then for February we did 4 Sidney Poitier movies, and then in March, Women's History Month, we focused on some movies with female protagonists. But by popular demand, we had to bring back Alfred Hitchcock. And
So who's coming? What's coming back? Do you know? What movies?
We have Rear Window coming up.
Next week is North by Northwest. The following is
Fantastic.
Dial M for Murder, and then the last one is Rear Window.
And then today we just had Frenzy.
Frenzy.
If you've
Okay.
never seen that one, yeah.
Okay. No, I'm a big fan. So,
Yeah.
Oh,
so you
check 'em
were,
out.
so you're doing those during the day. You were doing, I know, Ed Cato, who's a good friend.
Yes.
You graduated a couple years ahead of us at Auburn High School.
That's right.
Is at Ithaca College. He was doing some things in the fall,
Yeah, and we hope
but
to have
those
him
were
back.
at night.
At night, yeah, and we hope to have him back. Currently, we are doing a First Friday movie. We just had our first Friday free Alfred Hitchcock. So we're going to repeat the Tuesday 1 o'clock for those people that work during the day for that Friday night at 6 o'clock, complete with introduction by Joanne O'Connor.
Okay. And so when it's not she showing films, do you show films in the theater also at other times, or are you just keeping to that as being your programming?
That's the set programming.
Yeah,
Yeah, for right now.
as of right now, but we do have some specialties coming up. So like this week, Thursday, Friday, we have the New York State Dog Film Festival, Thursday 1 and 7.
Okay,
And then the New York
I'll
State
play.
Cat Film Festival
Oh, cats
on
and dogs.
Friday at 1 and 7. So we show some of the independent cinema as well that's out there.
What is a cat and dog film festival?
Well, I'm thinking Uma Thurman right now, but I'm thinking that's the wrong one. But what is a cat and dog festival?
I mean, from what I've, in correspondence
Oh,
with
you
the
haven't
guy.
previewed this?
No, we've been previewed. I mean,
Oh.
we've shown it before.
This is the 8th annual.
This is the 8th annual. So people, the New York Times puts together, collaboration
So it must
of
be
short
great because
films.
it's the Times.
Yeah. And then actually 40% of the proceeds go to the Finger Lakes SPCA. So it's a great way to
So is this a
raise money for charity.
film of the dog show that is held annually? No.
No,
No.
it's a 90-minute film of it's a compilation of short films. One about dogs, Thursday, and the other about cats, Friday.
You wouldn't want to run them at the same time.
No, you can't do it at the
No.
same
Okay.
time. No, these are very different people. Dog people, cat people.
Right. And then
Slightly
there-
different personality
And then
types.
there's those who have both,
Have
and
both.
they're just crazy.
And that's a whole,
So-
that's a whole subset.
But you can also, if I wanted to go, we were joking before, one of Ed Cato's first films was Planet of the Apes,
That's
which I
right.
really wanted to see.
That's right.
If I brought my own film in, can I rent, what's the rental of a theater if I want to bring my own? Well, I don't have to bring my own popcorn because you sell popcorn, candy,
Yeah.
and drinks.
People say it's the best in town.
Best popcorn?
Best popcorn in town.
Okay.
Yeah. We make it fresh right there, so
It's got the right
it
amount
does
of
make
salt.
sense.
It's got the right amount of butter.
Yeah.
So somebody can come in though and bring their own film.
Yes.
Yeah.
So do you do birthday parties in there as well? Okay, because I know we now have the Polish Falcons that is closing. That used to be a major venue for children's birthday parties. Is that some a void you're hoping to fill part of?
Absolutely. And birthday parties can happen in any space. As Teddy said, we just did a 13th birthday party in Stage Right. But we have done, this is, before times. People would come in and they'd rent the cinema space and then they just put up, I have to say it, Taylor Swift videos. And in that little space, before the seating, they just would dance to Taylor Swift videos. Like not even watch a whole movie, but just have the videos up on the big screen and then go over to the Stage Right for pizza and cake and presents and balloons. So it's however you want to do it. Like the space is flexible, we're flexible,
And
we'd love that.
do they contact Mr. Gambaini?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, all
He's
right.
the guy.
So I'm just moving around in a circle here
Yeah.
somewhat. So Cafe 108 is what?
Café 108 is,
I brought your menu.
thank you. Thank God I ate, because, I don't want to feel hungry when I'm talking about this. Thank you, Guy. So it's a breakfast and lunch cafe at the moment. It's open Monday through Saturday from 8 to 3. It is, we
And you
built.
have another Cuga grad in your kitchen?
We did.
You did, okay.
Yep.
So
And
why was this created?
So it was created to be an income stream for the non-for-profit. So all of the profit from the cafe and all of the tips are donated to Auburn Public Theater, and then they help support the programming of Auburn Public Theater.
And what do you serve there?
What do we serve there?
Delicious food.
Well, there's terrific sandwiches there, but you also,
Yeah.
I'm not a breakfast person, but you do breakfast in the morning?
Waffles. The Chapo is my personal favorite.
The what?
Yeah.
The Chapo, it's an omelet with a mixture of like just goodness.
Roasted veggies.
Roasted
Yeah.
veggies and eggs and
We just got a new menu item. It's a homemade omelet, and I think it's only going to be on the menu for maybe a couple more weeks, and that's it.
So don't
Yeah.
wait.
But it's
No
the
way.
first time we're doing an omelet.
and they serve it with fresh buttered grilled stretch
Oh my
bread
God.
from patisserie, and that alone
Well,
is
you can
worth-
also get patisserie
worth
bread
it.
if it's still there,
If you know.
if
as you know.
you're not late
Yeah.
in the afternoon like I am.
Yeah. Guy's one of our best patisserie stretch bread customers.
I always go for that. So you can eat in, because I know I was there the other day,
Yes.
and you had most likely a dozen patrons there at, I don't know, 11 o'clock in the morning,
Yep.
which is between lunch and dinner, or lunch and
Breakfast.
breakfast. But you can also order and take out,
Absolutely.
correct?
And we have and there's delivery through the Toast Takeout app.
and you can cater your event.
Thank you.
And cater, okay.
So if you want to have a birthday party in stage right, you could also cater it from Café
Café
108 if
108.
it's during catering
And
hours
it's
or
not-
cafe hours.
This is, do you do cakes and baked goods and things like?
We can.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then there's the larger theater, which is 199 main stage, 199, and that's been open what, about 15 years?
Yeah.
Lots of comedy acts
Mm-hmm.
performing there. You have a comedian coming up. Who is that?
John Runitsky
Thank
on
April
April 20th, 1 month away. And then Danelle Rawlings is returning to Auburn Public Theater on June 15th as part of Auburn's larger Juneteenth celebration.
And are comedians a mainstay of Auburn Public Theater in the sense that I don't know if anybody else other than Syracuse, which has some venues, you're it.
Yeah, a bona fide comedy club is more of a cabaret style, seating arrangement, bar services available throughout, right? Waiters, waitresses, they're sort of circulating. This is comedians in the theater. So though we have a bar service, it's like people are in there, their arms are crossed, they're looking at the comedian, they're saying, "Make me laugh." Now, Paul McCura.
I was going to bring him up. So
Yeah.
Paul McCura is a great story.
Yeah.
So Paul McCura, I think I'm most likely, was he your first?
He was the very first.
Okay, so
January 2006.
for first comedian, two former mayors in the audience,
One was
bad
this person.
idea for the whole thing once he was told that. So, but one of them got beat up a lot more than I did,
That's
so
right.
we'll leave that alone. But how did you get, so this is in part of the success story of Auburn Public Theater. You just don't call up a booking agent and say, "Hey, come to Auburn."
I mean, comedy clubs often will book a comedian for like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We don't have such a large budget, so we do these so-called one-offs, like a Saturday night in a theater, as I said. I'd gone to a taping of The Daily Show where Paul was the warm-up comedian in October, November of 2005. And he did this crowd work that was symphonic, truly. There were 250 people. It's the middle of the afternoon. You have to be totally clean because it's the middle of the afternoon. There are middle school kids there, high school kids, college-age kids. I mean, anybody who wants
I missed that show.
yes, anybody who wants a ticket to a live taping of the show. So he was so spectacular, picking out this person, this person, this person, this person, and I got picked on. And at the end, he brought it all together. Had I not been chosen as somebody for him to talk with, you never would have been able to convince me that it wasn't scripted, because it was that kind of genius in the way it pulled together at the end. And I did something, I lived and worked in Los Angeles in the film and television business for 9 years. And actors live there and they work there, and you just kind of leave them alone if you bump into them in a pizza shop or whatever. So that you just have a way of being in the world. But Paul was so funny that I came home from that trip to New York and I went on the Daily Show website to send a fan email because I just thought, man, Jon Stewart must be so confident that he has someone like you opening for him, because, you know, the warm-up guy has to be funny, but not funnier than the
Right.
guy, right? And he wrote back and said, you're a pretty good writer. What do you do for a living? And I said, oh, we're starting this new multi-venue performing arts space. And he said, oh, I once in a while come up and I do like colleges and so forth. And we said, oh, would you come up and do 4 shows? And he said, okay. So he did 2 shows Friday and he did 2 shows Saturday. You were at the second show one of those nights.
Yes, I was. So
I don't know if it was Friday or Saturday, but it was historic.
So-
and they all sold out. All 4 shows sold out.
and he came back.
Oh, he came back a number of times. Yeah.
So Donnell Rawlings, am I pronouncing
right.
his name? So he's coming June 15th, which is for June. He's appeared on Netflix and the Dave Chappelle Show. So he's coming in. How many times do you try to bring comedians in a given season?
I mean, I'd say we try to get a couple at the beginning of the year, a couple in the middle, and then a couple at the end. So, you know, round it out maybe like 6 or 7, 8 comedians a year.
And how much does it cost to attend with a comedian?
We usually on the cheaper side. So like our upcoming comedians like Donnell, or I'm sorry, later down the line we have Abe Gatlin who's going to be showing up. Like, you know, these comedians we normally have tickets sold at $12.
Okay.
$12.
Where are you going for $12?
Well, I
Yeah.
was going to say, can you make money on $12?
Ish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
We-
you
we have
apparently
this-
all got paychecks
we
because
got
you're here
paychecks, so
today.
we-
Okay.
so
I mean,
we
that's
make
part of the
money.
mission is making sure people have affordable access to the arts because it's, you know, the arts, the prices for everything keep going up, but it's nice to always know that you can
So
check
thank
out
you.
at John Renitsky
Slide.
for $12.
So let me walk into that. So do you also produce your own plays there, or do you bring? So you have the players in this week. They're going to put on their own play. They're only renting your facility, correct? Do you put on your own performances?
we
You
have.
have in the past. I
Yeah.
know
Yeah. Dan LeBay.
Dan LeBay and David Tobin have been there. I know I've seen. I think there was somebody who played Groucho. I think there was somebody who played Seward. I'm missing somebody.
We
in
have a
there.
Thomas Mott Osborne
Mo-
play
Thomas-
that we commission,
So,
and we've staged that before.
but those are smaller.
Yeah.
Do you-
It's a dream to have a theater season. We have not quite realized it yet. But I want to say, in 2006, we thought the renovation of the entire building was going to take a really long time, like 5 years. And we're just about at year 20, and we're almost finished. So
Okay.
things take a little longer than you think.
All right. So
someday
let's,
over the rainbow, we
so
hope to
let's
get there.
come back to what you're doing in the basement.
Yeah.
So some people may remember the psychedelic posters were at the bottom of the WT grants.
Oh, interesting.
Or turtles or
Yes.
fish.
Yes,
That
was the pet section.
What is, and then there was a nightclub.
that's right. Very briefly.
For
Cagney's.
Cagney's. What is in, first of all, how much square footage is there and
Okay.
what's in there now?
Okay. Want to take that?
Yeah, it's 13,000 square feet, and you know, kind of goes along the whole building.
Sure.
So when you're on the front in the cafe, you'll be standing above what will be the black box theater space. Then in between,
And how many will that seat?
99.
It's that large. So
Yeah.
Okay.
and then you, as you walk kind of towards the parking garage, you go into the catering kitchen, because then you hit the Awaska room, which will stand 600 and seat 250. So you'll have that catering kitchen so that you could have weddings, larger concerts. There'll be a movable bar. And then the bathrooms are, again, at the front from across from the cafe space,
Okay.
kind of like right there at the foot of the stairs.
So the Awaska room is going to be really nice because we're going to be able to have like larger bands, be able to play down there, a lot more people, being able to stand and watch them. Like maybe.
So I remember the ceilings are fairly tall down
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
20 feet.
They are 20 feet. So is there egress just from one area, or how will people come in and out?
There's the main staircase,
Right.
and then there's the back elevator. So once you go through the cinema space, there's a nice little lobby with an elevator, and that'll take you right down into the Awaska room.
So you still have the terrazzo, or is that
Terrazzo.
gone?
Terrazzo floor on the first level.
It's still there,
oh,
not
yeah.
on the stairwell and all
No, and the lower level does not. It just had tile.
tile there. Okay, so when
And there's a second staircase in the back next to the elevator, and then there's a stairwell in the very front of the building in the area that abuts the 110 building. So those are the egress points.
And ARMA is still going to be there? And what is it, the ARMA, since we show these shows on ARMA, so
Yes.
tell us what ARMA has there.
You want to?
Yeah, I can talk about ARMA. So I'm not
You're a
necess-
telecom
Yeah, I'm a telecom
grad,
student.
you should be able to.
Yeah, I can talk about it a little bit. I know it's like Steve Keeler's baby, a little bit. So, ARMA is all about, free broadcast television for all of Cuyahoga County. And they've been down in the basement for how long now? Do you know?
Oh, at least 15 years.
I was going to say over 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years, 15, 10 years.
So they're still there. So there's a studio down there. Can people film down there?
People can film down there. They don't have to go through us, though. They don't go through Auburn Public Theater. They go straight through ARMA.
Right.
And then James Reichart works down there right now. He's manning the whole station, which is amazing. He's a really talented
Terrific,
videographer.
nice man.
He's
Yes.
amazing. I love that man. So if you contact him and you want to film something, you want to have a podcast, you want to do like a little, skit with green screen, you want to make a commercial, like ARMA's the place to be.
So how much is the Owasco, so you received how much from Red Sea in 2017?
We have to call Carrie Idell to ask him that question.
Okay.
I do not have that figure memorized because it's a sort of mix of Red Sea and DRI funding.
Okay, so
Yeah.
how much have you gotten from the government on there? The reason I'm asking is this, how much is from government, how much have you had to raise from your own, and are you done?
Most of it. We're never done.
Okay,
If you know anybody with
Deep pockets,
deep
okay.
pockets, yep, send them to any one of the three of
okay.
us, send them anywhere near us. Overall, the entire renovation project is going to be about $3.5 million. Everything, all in. That's a bargain for what
so
for
does
what
that
we've done.
3.5 include the movie theater and the main
No,
stage?
that's
Just the
that's the cafe, that's the lower level, all the new bathrooms.
And I know that
The hallway,
with
the elevator
campus that
project.
they're putting down at Schweinfurth and Cuyahoga Museum, there's a local share, there's a government share. How much percentage-wise of that was government money?
I'd say 2/3,
Okay.
and 1/3 private.
And so when do you hope to have it complete?
The construction company says by the end of June of this year. We'll be waiting on a liquor license, which may take a little bit longer, and we still have, we need to raise some funds to finish the black box, we need to raise some funds to finish the stairwell. So in terms of programming, we're really looking at 2025.
So you're not booking any weddings other than your reception?
And he's
stage
in
right,
stage
though.
right.
But you're upstairs?
Yeah, I'm upstairs.
Yeah.
So
I'm
you're not
down
booking
yet.
anything downstairs?
Not yet.
And,
Not yet.
when do you start thinking you will start taking dates and things like that?
Well, funny you should ask, because
Okay.
We had someone inquire today about a May wedding for 2025.
You're comfortable at this stage?
Yes.
On things like that?
definitely.
So you also are going to be doing some camps, and I want to talk about that. You have 4 main areas. You have a musical theater, narrative film, Wonder Why, a rock band camp, and a DJ. So let's take them all piece by piece. What is the musical theater camp?
So the musical theater camp is one of our main 4 camps where students get to come in and learn kind of like the stagecraft of being on stage, performing, singing, dancing. And what they do is they take snippets of like the musical that they're working on and just put those together in kind of like a cabaret format. And this year we're doing Newsies.
Oh, okay.
So, and then what they do all week is
Christian
they learn all
Bale.
the songs. Huh?
Christian Bale from a
I
long
know,
time
right?
ago.
Yeah. So
right.
somebody's gonna play Christian Bale, I think, or whatever the guy's name is from Newsies. I have no idea what his name is. And they're gonna put on like a little miniaturized version of the show, and then at the end of the week, after they perform, they're gonna be able to go see the real show at the Rev with tickets, and they're gonna see the whole entire thing.
So just are all of these camps 1 week each, or are
Yes.
there multiple weeks?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
And Teddy started in that camp with us.
I did.
Okay.
I did. So my history goes all the way back to doing film, or not film camps, but like acting and musical camps at Auburn Public Theater when I was in middle school.
okay. And so what age group is that for?
It's for kids, I'd say, I think it's 10 to,
3rd grade and
Grade,
Yeah,
third
third
grade to senior year,
yeah,
Senior, okay.
high school.
yeah.
And how much does it cost to participate?
Well, we're doing a pay-as-you-go program, or pay-what-you-can program, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And what
For
that
all
means,
camps or just this
For all
one?
the
for all
camps,
camps,
Okay.
yep.
And so normally, if you want to pay full price, it's about $250 to $300, depending on which camp you want to do. But we're trying to make this be something that's available for everybody in the community.
And it runs from what time of day 5 days a week, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
that camp is 10 to 4.
10 to 4.
But thanks
Yeah.
to somebody who mentioned that we needed some before and after care, we now will be offering that this
Okay.
summer. So
Yes.
there are
It's
before
important.
and after care hours.
Yes.
So we have time for parents to show up and drop their kids off in the morning, and time for kids to pick up their, or time for parents to pick up their kids.
Would that
after
mean that
everything.
you would extend hours at Cafe 108 because you are going to have that many people down there, or you haven't got?
We wish.
Okay.
That's the dream.
So narrative film.
Yeah.
You're doing that one.
I'm the instructor, yeah.
Okay. So what's
So-
narrative film?
Narrative Film Camp is all about making a narrative film. So we're making a short film within a week, which means that, day one, we're making a script, we're getting all of our shot lists together, we're figuring out and brainstorming what we're going to do. And then the next couple days, we're doing production, we're actually filming everything, we're making sure, everybody's not off script necessarily.
Do they
but-
come up with the theme, or do you have a theme that you're?
So normally they do.
Okay.
So we sit, we brainstorm, we're like, okay, what's within our grasp that we can actually film, at the Auburn Public Theater, and then they come up with ideas, and then we kind of go over them with the kids.
And then rock band is what?
Rock band is all about performance.
Okay.
So kids are coming in, they're learning how to play drums, guitars.
So do
sing.
they have to have their own instruments?
No,
And will they have had to have lessons somewhere in like one of the public schools?
no, not necessarily.
Okay.
No.
And what's DJ camp?
DJ camp is fun.
I hear that's the, I don't want to say this, but I've talked to a parent. They said that is by far the funnest camp.
It's pretty
Wow,
fun.
That's
yeah.
great.
So we have a real DJ from Syracuse. Her name is DJ Bella J, and she teaches our
Of course
DJ
it
camp.
is.
Yeah,
Okay.
do you know who she is?
No, I don't know, but just the name.
Oh,
it says.
she's fabulous.
Sounds like you knew her. But she comes in, she teaches the kids for the whole week how to be a DJ. I'm not necessarily sure about the nitty-gritty stuff, but there's a performance at the end that all the parents get to come and enjoy.
So you mentioned that you're doing Newsies with the Rev, which is the former Merry-Go-Round Theater. Do you do other partnerships within the camps? Or is that mainly an APT?
We don't do partnerships. For 9 years, we almost made it to 10. We would do, as Teddy said, we'd study a musical for a week, and then we go to New York City.
Okay.
And then the pandemic, and so we decided to stay local. And what we're finding is a lot of the students who are coming to camp haven't been there yet, which is really wonderful. So it's our opportunity to help expose them to local theater.
People can find out more about those performances as well as the camps by going to the APT website.
Absolutely, yeah.
I do this every time to you.
Yes.
So this is the last question because
We're
30
out of
minutes
time?
goes. But
Okay.
in your view, because you have been through this for 2 decades, if not more, what is the state of the arts in Cayuga County, but also in central New York right now, as far as you're concerned?
I think it's an absolutely great time for the arts. I think coming out of what came before, the thing that shall go nameless. I think people are looking to connect more than ever. They're looking for live experience more than ever. And if anybody ever should feel any level of discouragement, Exhibit A and Exhibit B, this is the future of live experience. And having someone like Teddy, who has come up through the program, now working with us, need we say more? And then Dom, obviously, is newer to us, but the same kind of enthusiasm, talent, excitement for the
Has
program.
the arts community recovered from COVID?
It's recovering.
Recovering.
Yeah.
Still work to be done.
It's a present continuous state of being, but it's recovering. But it's I think it's on the uphill climb.
Well, I don't want you another 5 years. You can come back sooner than that.
Okay,
'Cause I was
thank
looking
you.
last time.
Has it been 5 years?
It has been 5
That's too
years.
long.
Well, because we didn't do a whole lot during
Oh, that's
COVID for
right.
you. So,
During those times.
So our guests have been Artistic Producing Director Angela Daddabbo, and we thank you always for your time. Executive Assistant Dominic Gambaini is closer.
Closer.
Okay. And Theodore Teddy Brill, who is their marketing and technical coordinator. If you have not been to the Auburn Public Theater, it is worth a visit. If you have been there, keep going back, whether it's to the main stage or to the films or Cafe 108. It's a great time down there. And we want to thank you all and hope you have a great 2024 season.
Thank you very much.
We had hoped to be back on Thursday with Senator Rachel May, who we did not talk about with some arts funding on Thursday, but the New York State legislature has not passed a budget as of yet. So she is not going to be here on Thursday. We're working to reschedule her in for the end of the semester, but we're also doing some political forums, which we'll talk about in just a moment. So right now we will have the owner of the Auburn Doubledays will be in here, Bob Oman, and General Manager Janya Cosino, who will be in here to talk about what's coming up in their season starting 2 months from now. In the coming weeks, Mayor Jimmy Giannantino will be here, as well as Auburn Superintendent of Schools Jeff Perazzola, as well as Tessa Crawford, who is the new business manager for the district. Author Joe DeVitro will be here to talk about his new book that just came out. And we hope to have Chris Major in to talk about what may be the last Major Palooza after 28 years. We will have the Republican candidates who are seeking a seat in the 48th Senate District, which is now currently held by Rachel May. And then we hope to have the candidates for the Democratic nomination for the congressional seat now held by Republican Brandon Williams, which is the New York 22nd. As well, we'll be back here on May 7th with our annual school board forum, and so we hope you will join us in the studio for all of that. If you have some thoughts for ideas for questions or guests that we should have on, please contact us at cozguytho@aol.com. I'm Guy Cosentino for Community College. Have a great night, and again, go support the arts. And they'll tell us.